Two messed up individuals, two individuals with a lot of issues, but which one would have made the better girlfriend for Dexter Morgan? Welcome back, guys, to Fog Entertainment. We have a theory, we have a question. Who would have made the better girlfriend? Would it be Rita? Would it be Lyla? Now, yes, both of these women were messed up, but they were trying to date, they were trying to be with a killer in Dexter, so it's almost like it's okay, because if you're going to be with a killer, someone that kills for a living like Dexter, then you probably have to have issues, you probably have to be messed up, and both of these women were. Now, Rita, obviously, she came with emotional damage, abuse in the past. That was her excuse for being messed up. Lyla, on the other hand, she just happened to be batshit crazy and maybe also a bit of a killer like Dexter. So we put up a poll, who would have made the better girlfriend? 74% of yous believe that it was Rita, and 26% of yous believe that it was Lyla. Now, if we're talking about having a family, if we're talking about settling down and trying to have a normal life, then yes, 100%, I think the answer to that question is Rita. Then she'd make a much better girlfriend. But I think if you're looking at it from a different perspective, a different point of view, Dexter's lifestyle, if Dexter wants to be honest with someone, if Dexter wants to tell the truth and be accepted, then you could maybe argue that Lyla would have been the better person for him, because Dexter's constantly having to lie to Rita. He's constantly having to make up excuses for his absence at home. He's always having to sneak out when he's trying to kill people. He's always having to tiptoe around Rita and basically hide his life, hide who he really is. Whereas with Lyla, I feel like he could have just been straight up honest about who he is, admit that he's a killer, admit what he does, and I think Lyla, well, I don't even think, I know that Lyla would have been okay with that, because we see that she accepts him for who he is and the killer that he is, and she almost encourages him to be that killer and release his dark passenger, so to speak. So, I mean, you can certainly make a case either way. Now, you could argue that if Dexter was with Lyla, perhaps his cover would have got blown quicker, because, I mean, if Dexter's going with a woman that is fucking crazy and enabling him and pushing him on and willing him on to kill, then perhaps she would have blown his cover and Dexter would have been found out a lot earlier than he was. But with Rita, it looked like he could just play the normal house, husband, family. So maybe Rita for Dexter's cover was a better option, but I think Lyla for Dexter himself and being who he is and being open and being able to lead the life that he wanted to and not having to keep everything a secret, then maybe Lyla was the better option. But we'll see what you guys said. So I definitely can see why Rita would be an option, but I think you could argue that Lyla would be a good option as well. Keno said, is this show any good? It is good. It's definitely worth watching, Keno, especially the first 4 seasons. Fantastic. After that, does kind of dip off a little bit. You can decide yourself which season is the worst, but it's definitely either 5, 6, 7, or 8. I would personally say that 8 is probably the worst season, although there's a character in 5 that I absolutely detest, and it makes it hard for me to watch, but it's still worth watching. If you're going to stick through it for the first 4 seasons, then you may as well watch, okay? Because 5, 6, and 7 aren't really that bad, but season 8, yeah, season 8, that's a different story altogether. Bridget Connor said, Rita, aside from Lyla burning her own apartment down just because Dexter went to Cody's stupid cultural presentation on Saudi Arabia that he managed to get confused with Israel, what kind of sick fuck tries to burn 2 innocent children alive before they fuck off back to TJ, Paris, just to carry on as if nothing happened? I mean, yeah, the whole cultural presentation thing always got me. It's like, how the hell can you? And even Dexter, like, was made aware. He pointed out the fact that yes, they don't think the Saudis would be too happy that you were getting them confused with Israel. I mean, that's probably an offence that is punishable by death. So yeah, I always thought that cultural presentation thing was funny. I mean, you can get countries mixed up, but Saudi Arabia and Israel's probably not acceptable to get those 2 countries mixed up. As for trying to burn down 2 children, yeah, I mean, she is crazy. So there's, I'm not surprised. Maybe it was a little bit too far. She did speak about how she killed her boyfriend, but she made it sound accidental in season 2, that she was being abused and she was trying to escape, and Dexter like almost gave her a free pass on that one. But looking back, it's like he probably wanted to leave her, and based on what she did, based on her actions later in season 2, maybe her ex-boyfriend was a victim. Maybe he wanted to escape this crazy bitch and she decided to burn him down. So, I mean, that could have been a possibility. I mean, was Dexter being a little bit too naive earlier in the season? Should he have realised what Rita, should he have realised what Lyla was and held her accountable for her actions back then? Because she did admit to killing someone and Dexter was okay with it. So, yeah, no, definitely. Lyla, a crazy person trying to burn down 2 children just because fucking Dexter didn't want to be there. Strange, very strange. Anyway, Green Matrix says, Rita, Lyla was just too crazy. I mean, I agree. There's a level of craziness that I think is acceptable, but Lila's is probably off the chart. And it just seemed to be the longer she was in the show, the crazier she got. She seemed crazy at the beginning. There's no doubt about that, when she's like stealing and being this weird kind of nude exhibitionist artist. She did come across as a crazy person that might have like 12 cats, but the longer we go on, when she admits to killing her ex, then she fucking tries to frame Angel Batista for rape, and she's like harming herself to get evidence on Batista. Then at the end, she's trying to burn down 2 little kids. I mean, Cody and fucking Asta, not Astor, what did they do? They done nothing to her. So yeah, definitely a crazy psycho bitch, and probably too crazy for Dexter's liking, probably too crazy for anybody's liking, if we're being completely honest. So yeah, guys, that was at 146 votes. 74% of you believed that Rita. I mean, and I do accept that. However, I think if Dexter was being honest, and if he wanted to not hide and pretend that he's someone that he's not, then maybe Lyla would have been a better option for him. But I just believe with Lyla being so crazy that it would have blown Dexter's cover. She probably would have been all for Dexter. She probably would have wanted to join in the killing along with Dexter, be his co-op, be his partner, be his teammate, and it would have probably ended in disaster. So yeah, Dexter, what he wanted, what Harry told him to do was try and live a normal life, try and have a normal family, and try and blend in so that you don't stand out. And that's what life with Rita offered Dexter. He could be a loving husband, he could be a father to his kid, and obviously a stepfather to Cody and Astor, and he could live a normal life. So yeah, that's what Rita offered Dexter, and I think in the end it's probably the best option for him. And 74% of you guys agree also. So there you go, guys. That's it for another poll here on Dexter, another theory. I'll catch you in the next one. Been Fog Entertainment. Thanks for watching, and peace.